Well, that was pretty fast. I don't know if I covered that whole play. It's a wonderful plot. Shakespeare, he had wonderful plots, and then he applied to those plots this wonderful language. Anyway, I did the best I could there. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to watch the end of Shakespeare in Love. It's about 30 minutes of watching. Start at the 89th minute to 36th second, unless you're watching the whole thing, which I highly recommend. I mean, remember, it's R-rated, so, you got to allow for that. Anyway, those notes that I had on the board for the last video, they should have gone on page 1.1. That's Shakespearean plays, if you took those notes. All right, some things so that you might better appreciate this movie. There's so much more than I have time to tell you about. But anyway, there is that joke of the Puritan. He gets, inadvertently, he ends up going into the play. Now, the Puritans shut down the theaters once they got in control, and I'll tell you about that in 17th century England. They shut down the plays. They regarded attending plays and putting plays on as sinful. But he gets forced in, and here it turns out he just absolutely loves it. Little joke poked at them. You need to know that in the Elizabethan times, no woman was allowed on stage. It was the law. That was regarded as not respectable, to have a woman as an actress. You could not do that. And this movie is based on the idea that here was a woman who so much wanted to be an actress that she was willing to pretend to be a guy in order to get on stage and act. Of course, then she fell in love with Shakespeare. Watch the way they go in and out of the play as they do this end. The world premiere of Shakespeare, of Romeo and Juliet, is going on, and the story applies to them, and it goes in and out of the play. It's wonderfully done. My memory, what I mean by that is I remember to this day the first time I was watching television and I heard some man explain the plot of Romeo and Juliet, the story. And I was so amazed by it. I thought, oh my gosh, what a story that is. And I can still remember, I understood it. Well, before I'd even really seen the play, and I thought, whoa, what a story. I went awfully fast, but I hope that you understand the story. Queen Elizabeth I, she was famously ugly. When you see her, the actress, Judi Dench, she looks pretty ugly. Well, I'll tell you again when we get there. I'll tell you more about her later on. But now the queen that we have now, or England has now, is Queen Elizabeth II. This was Queen Elizabeth I. There's an allusion to a story about Sir Walter Raleigh, which I wanted to point out. An allusion is a reference to something famous. When all those guys throw their cloaks down in the mud, and she says, too late. Well, supposedly, at a certain point, Sir Walter Raleigh gallantly put his very valuable cloak in the mud so the real Queen Elizabeth could walk on his cloak instead of get any mud on his shoes. So they put that in there. Good name, says Shakespeare at one point. Well, that has occurred a bunch of times in the movie. Also, his true love says it's a mystery. Well, that also has been a theme through the movie. If you see the whole movie, you'll see what I mean. A theme is something that keeps showing up like that. So both of those are themes. And then finally, at the end of this movie, they so cleverly bring in the play Twelfth Night. After you've seen this, I guess it'll be tomorrow, I'll say a little bit more about this. But Twelfth Night, I don't know if it really was the very next play Shakespeare wrote, but it is a very good play indeed. All right, I think I've covered all this. What I'd like you to do between now and the next time you see 13, my next video, I'd like you to find some way to see Shakespeare in Love. And if you haven't watched the whole thing, start at the 89th minute, 36th second, and enjoy. This is a truly great movie. I mean, the costumes, the set, and the set is really the reason that I'm spending this time right now, is because I want you to see that theater and what that experience would have been like. So that's it for today. Hope to see you tomorrow.